Hello, and welcome to Astrology with Erin. I'm your astrologer, Erin, and in this video, I'll be sharing your June 2026 horoscopes for all 12 rising signs. June is a month of rapid change, shifting perspectives, and accelerating momentum as we move deeper into this new astrological landscape shaped by Uranus, now in Gemini, alongside Saturn and Neptune in Aries, and Pluto, now retrograde in Aquarius. Mid month, we have a powerful Gemini New Moon aligned with Uranus, bringing sudden developments, surprising conversations, and unexpected shifts in direction. Then at the end of the month, a much more serious Capricorn Full Moon brings questions around responsibility, long term goals, and what we are truly building moving forward. We also have one of the biggest astrological shifts of the year as Jupiter leaves Cancer and enters Leo on June 30th, beginning a new cycle centered around creativity, confidence, visibility, and self expression. If you'd like a deeper breakdown of the astrology of June, be sure to check out my full June 2026 astrology forecast, recorded with my friend and colleague Casey Sampson of Aligned Astrology over on Awakening Airwaves. I'll put the link in the description box below. And definitely check out the amazing group of healers and practitioners featured on that channel as well. Before we get started, if you enjoy this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I recently launched this channel, and your support really helps me continue growing and sharing this work with more people. These horoscopes are written from the perspective of the rising sign because the rising sign sets the whole sign house framework that shows where these transits are unfolding in your life. That said, you're also very welcome to listen for your sun sign, your moon sign, or any placement you feel especially connected to. Finally, if you're interested in written horoscopes, you can find those on my Lunar Blog for every new and full moon at astrologywitherin.com. My Lunar Blog also includes tarot polls, lunar rituals, and my recommendations for crystal and herb allies for each lunation. You can also subscribe to my mailing list there to stay current with my work and offerings. And if you're interested in a personal astrology reading, my books are currently open for one-on-one consultations. All of those links are in the description box below. All right, let's get into the horoscopes for June 2026. Aries, your theme for June, rooted renewal. June asks you to strengthen your foundations before stepping into a more creative and expressive new chapter. Early in the month, Venus conjoins exalted Jupiter in Cancer, bringing supportive energy into your home and personal life. This can be a beautiful time for reconnecting with family, creating greater comfort in your living space, or recognizing what truly helps you feel safe, nourished, and emotionally supported. Mid month, the Gemini New Moon activates your third house, bringing movement, conversation, and unexpected developments. News may arrive suddenly, or you may find yourself seeing a situation very differently than you did before. Uranus near the new moon suggests your thinking is changing quickly this month, opening the door to new ideas, plans, or perspectives that may have felt stalled previously. By the end of the month, the Capricorn full moon illuminates your 10th house of career and long term direction. You may feel pressure to step up, make an important decision, or recognize the weight of what you're building. At the same time, Mercury stations retrograde, reminding you that not everything is fully settled yet. June closes with Jupiter leaving Cancer and entering Leo, beginning a much more creative, expressive, and personally visible chapter for you. After a year focused on emotional foundations and stability, the next year invites more joy, confidence, romance, creativity, and self expression. What helps you feel emotionally rooted enough to fully express who you are becoming? Taurus, your theme for June, rewriting the future. June asks you to reconsider what stability truly means as new ideas, priorities, and possibilities begin reshaping your direction. Early in the month, Venus conjoins exalted Jupiter in Cancer, bringing supportive energy into communication, learning, and your immediate environment. Important conversations may open doors this month, and you may feel more emotionally connected to siblings, friends, neighbors, or the people you interact with daily. There is also strong support for writing, teaching, studying, or sharing your voice more openly. Mid month, the Gemini New Moon activates your second house of money, resources, and self worth. Uranus near the new moon suggests unexpected financial developments or shifting priorities around what you value most. You may begin approaching work, spending, or your relationship with security in a very different way. Something that once felt dependable may be changing, but this also opens the door to greater freedom and innovation. By the end of the month, the Capricorn Full Moon illuminates your ninth house of beliefs, education, travel, and long term vision. Questions about your future path, worldview, or personal growth may come into sharper focus. At the same time, Mercury stations retrograde, suggesting you may need additional time before making final decisions or commitments. June closes with Jupiter leaving Cancer and entering Leo, beginning a year long focus on home, family, roots, and emotional foundations. After a year centered on learning, communication, and connection, the next chapter invites you to create greater stability and nourishment in your personal life. What values are becoming essential to the future you are trying to build? Gemini, your theme for June, a new direction emerging. June brings major shifts in identity, priorities, and long term direction. Early in the month, Venus conjoins exalted Jupiter in Cancer, bringing supportive energy into finances, resources, and self worth. Opportunities for growth may emerge through work, support from others, or recognizing your own value more clearly. This can also be a deeply restorative period emotionally, helping you feel more grounded and secure. Mid month, the Gemini New Moon activates your first house, placing you at the center of major personal change and reinvention. With Uranus near the new moon, you may feel restless, energized, or ready to break out of old patterns that no longer fit who you are becoming. Others may notice changes in your appearance, attitude, priorities, or overall presence. A new chapter is beginning, even if the full shape of it is not yet clear. By the end of the month, the Capricorn full moon illuminates your eighth house of shared resources, emotional entanglements, and deeper psychological patterns. Questions around trust, vulnerability, debt, intimacy, or emotional obligations may come to a head. Mercury stations retrograde at the same time, suggesting unfinished conversations or financial matters may require further reflection. June closes with Jupiter leaving Cancer and entering Leo, beginning a year focused on learning, communication, networking, and expanding your voice. After a year centered on rebuilding security and self worth, the next chapter encourages movement, curiosity, and greater visibility through what you share and teach. What version of yourself is ready to emerge, even if it changes the direction of your life? Cancer, your theme for June, quiet preparation. June feels transitional, asking you to honor both rest and renewal before a major new chapter begins. Early in the month, Venus conjoins exalted Jupiter in your sign, bringing warmth, support, and emotional replenishment. You may feel more confident, visible, or hopeful about your future, and relationships can feel especially nourishing now. This is one of the softer and more supportive moments of the month, reminding you that growth does not always need to come through struggle. Mid month, the Gemini New Moon activates your 12th house, bringing attention to rest, healing, solitude, and the deeper emotional patterns working beneath the surface. Uranus near the new moon suggests sudden insights or realizations may emerge unexpectedly, especially through dreams, intuition, or moments of withdrawal from external noise. You may recognize that an old cycle is quietly ending. By the end of the month, the Capricorn Full Moon illuminates your 7th house of relationships and commitments. Important truths around partnerships, boundaries, or long term relational dynamics may become difficult to ignore. At the same time, Mercury stations retrograde in your sign, suggesting you may need time to reconsider decisions, conversations, or future plans before moving forward. June closes with Jupiter leaving your sign and entering Leo, beginning a year focused on finances, stability, confidence, and building resources. After a year of tremendous personal growth and expansion, the next chapter asks how you can sustain and support what you've become. What emotional truths are preparing you for the next chapter of your life? Leo, your theme for June, expanding your horizons. June invites you to reconnect with your future vision while also honoring the emotional healing still taking place beneath the surface. Early in the month, Venus conjoins exalted Jupiter in Cancer, bringing supportive energy into rest, reflection, spirituality, and emotional restoration. You may feel called to slow down, reconnect with your inner world, or spend more time processing what the past year has brought you. Quiet support may arrive in unexpected ways. Mid month, the Gemini New Moon activates your 11th house of friendships, community, and long term goals. Uranus near the new moon suggests surprising developments involving social circles, collaborations, or future aspirations. New connections may appear suddenly, or your vision for the future may shift dramatically. You are beginning to imagine possibilities that once felt out of reach. By the end of the month, the Capricorn full moon illuminates your 6th house of work, health, and daily responsibilities. Questions around burnout, obligations, or sustainability may demand your attention. Mercury stations retrograde at the same time, suggesting it may be necessary to slow down and reassess how much you are carrying mentally and physically. June closes with Jupiter entering your sign, beginning an important new 12-year cycle of growth, visibility, opportunity, and expansion. After a year focused on healing and closure, you are stepping into a far more visible and personally expansive chapter. What future feels meaningful enough to fully grow toward? Virgo, your theme for June, reimagining success. June asks you to reconsider your goals, relationships, and long term direction as major transitions begin unfolding around your public and private life. Early in the month, Venus conjoins exalted Jupiter in Cancer, bringing supportive energy into friendships, community, and long term hopes for the future. Relationships with supportive people may feel especially nourishing now, and opportunities can emerge through collaboration, networking, or shared vision. Mid-month, the Gemini New Moon activates your 10th house of career, visibility, and public life. Uranus near the new moon suggests unexpected developments involving work, leadership, reputation, or long-term direction. A surprising opportunity or sudden realization may shift your understanding of where you are headed professionally. By the end of the month, the Capricorn Full Moon illuminates your 5th house of creativity, pleasure, romance, and self expression. Questions around joy, fulfillment, or creative authenticity may come into focus. Mercury stations retrograde simultaneously, suggesting that you may need additional time to reflect on what genuinely inspires you before making major commitments. June closes with Jupiter leaving Cancer and entering Leo, beginning a year focused on rest, retreat, healing, and inner growth. After a year emphasizing community and external goals, the next chapter invites more solitude, reflection, and emotional integration behind the scenes. What version of success feels emotionally sustainable for the life you want to build? Libra, your theme for June, broadening your perspective. June encourages you to think bigger about your future while remaining grounded in the realities of your current responsibilities. Early in the month, Venus conjoins exalted Jupiter in Cancer, bringing supportive energy into career, visibility, and long-term ambitions. Opportunities for recognition, growth, or professional support may emerge now, and you may feel more emotionally connected to the work you are building in the world. Mid-month, the Gemini New Moon activates your 9th house of travel, education, spirituality, and long-term vision. Uranus near the new moon suggests your worldview is changing rapidly this month. New opportunities for learning, teaching, publishing, or travel may emerge unexpectedly, or you may begin questioning beliefs and plans that no longer fit who you are becoming. By the end of the month, the Capricorn full moon illuminates your 4th house of home, family, and emotional foundations. Questions involving living situations, family dynamics, or work-life balance may require your attention. Mercury stations retrograde at the same time, suggesting some professional or personal decisions may still need further reflection. June closes with Jupiter leaving Cancer and entering Leo, beginning a year focused on friendships, collaboration, community, and long-term dreams. After a year centered on career growth and public visibility, the next chapter expands your connections and future possibilities. What future vision is large enough to inspire meaningful change in your life? Scorpio, your theme for June, emotional transformation. June brings emotional growth, perspective shifts, and important turning points around trust, vulnerability, and long-term direction. Early in the month, Venus conjoins exalted Jupiter in Cancer, bringing supportive energy into travel, education, spirituality, and personal growth. You may feel more hopeful about the future, more connected to your beliefs, or inspired to pursue experience that broadens your perspective. This can also be a beautiful time for study, teaching, or spiritual reflection. Mid-month, the Gemini New Moon activates your 8th house of intimacy, shared resources, and psychological transformation. Uranus near this new moon suggests sudden developments involving finances, emotional entanglements, debts, or vulnerable conversations. You may recognize that certain attachments or fears can no longer remain hidden beneath the surface. By the end of the month, the Capricorn Full Moon illuminates your third house of communication, learning, and daily interactions. Important conversations or decisions may come into focus, especially involving siblings, contracts, writing, or your immediate environment. Mercury stations retrograde simultaneously, suggesting you may need additional clarity before finalizing plans or commitments. June closes with Jupiter leaving Cancer and entering Leo, beginning a year focused on career growth, visibility, leadership, and public recognition. After a year of expanding your worldview and inner growth, the next chapter asks you to step more fully into visibility and authority. What emotional truths are helping you step more fully into your future? Sagittarius, your theme for June: rebalancing relationships. June asks you to examine the balance between independence and emotional vulnerability within your closest relationships. Early in the month, Venus conjoins exalted Jupiter in Cancer, bringing supportive energy into intimacy, emotional healing, and shared resources. Conversations around trust, support, finances, or emotional connection may deepen now, and there is a strong potential for meaningful healing within close partnerships. Mid month, the Gemini New Moon activates your seventh house of relationships and commitments. Uranus near the new moon suggests unexpected developments involving partners, collaborations, or important one on one dynamics. Some relationships may evolve quickly this month, while others may reveal where greater freedom or honesty is needed. By the end of the month, the Capricorn Full Moon illuminates your second house of money, stability, and self worth. Questions around financial priorities or what you truly value may become clearer. Mercury stations retrograde simultaneously, suggesting you may still be reassessing certain financial, emotional, or contractual matters before fully moving ahead. June closes with Jupiter leaving Cancer and entering Leo, beginning a year focused on travel, education, spirituality, publishing, and expanding your worldview. After a year centered on emotional depth and transformation, the next chapter encourages growth through exploration, learning, and new experiences. What relationships help you grow without losing yourself in the process? Capricorn, your theme for June: restructuring your priorities. June asks you to balance growing responsibilities with the need for greater emotional connection and sustainability. Early in the month, Venus conjoins exalted Jupiter in Cancer, bringing supportive energy into relationships and partnerships. Connections with others may feel especially nourishing now, and important people may offer support, encouragement, or opportunities for growth. This can also be a healing time within committed relationships. Mid month, the Gemini New Moon activates your sixth house of work, health, and daily routines. Uranus near the new moon suggests sudden changes involving schedules, responsibilities, coworkers, or wellness habits. You may realize that old routines are no longer sustainable, opening the door to a more flexible or innovative approach to your daily life. By the end of the month, the Capricorn full moon illuminates your first house, placing your needs, identity, and personal direction firmly in focus. You may feel pressure to make an important decision or recognize how much responsibility you have been carrying. Mercury stations retrograde simultaneously, suggesting relationship conversations or future plans may still require patience and reflection. June closes with Jupiter leaving Cancer and entering Leo, beginning a year focused on intimacy, shared resources, vulnerability, and deeper emotional transformation. After a year centered on relationships and external support, the next chapter invites more profound internal growth and emotional honesty. What responsibilities are truly yours to carry, and which ones are ready to be released? Aquarius, your theme for June: creative reawakening. June encourages you to reconnect with joy, creativity, and the parts of yourself that have felt buried beneath responsibility or routine. Early in the month, Venus conjoins exalted Jupiter in Cancer, bringing supportive energy into work, wellness, and daily life. You may feel more supported in practical matters, or you may begin finding greater emotional fulfillment through routines that genuinely nourish you. Mid-month, the Gemini New Moon activates your fifth house of creativity, romance, pleasure, and self-expression. Uranus near the new moon suggests surprising developments involving dating, creative projects, children, or the desire to express yourself more authentically. This lunation carries a playful but unpredictable energy that encourages experimentation and creative risk-taking. By the end of the month, the Capricorn Full Moon illuminates your 12th house of rest, endings, and emotional processing. You may feel the need to slow down, step back, or acknowledge emotional exhaustion that has been building beneath the surface. Mercury stations retrograde simultaneously, reinforcing the need for reflection and recalibration before pushing ahead too quickly. June closes with Jupiter leaving Cancer and entering Leo, beginning a year focused on relationships, collaboration, and important one-on-one partnerships. After a year centered on improving your routines and daily stability, the next chapter expands your relational world significantly. What brings you fully back to life, creatively, emotionally, and spiritually? Pisces, your theme for June: rebuilding from the heart. June asks you to reconnect with emotional fulfillment while also creating greater stability beneath your future plans. Early in the month, Venus conjoins exalted Jupiter in Cancer, bringing supportive energy into creativity, romance, joy, and self-expression. This can be one of the most heart-opening moments of the month for you, encouraging greater playfulness, inspiration, affection, and emotional warmth. Mid-month, the Gemini New Moon activates your fourth house of home, family, and emotional foundations. Uranus near the new moon suggests unexpected developments involving living situations, family dynamics, or your sense of belonging. You may feel called to redefine what home means to you or recognize that certain emotional patterns are ready to change. By the end of the month, the Capricorn Full Moon illuminates your 11th house of friendships, community, and long-term goals. Questions involving your future direction or the people surrounding you may come into sharper focus. Mercury stations retrograde simultaneously, suggesting you may still be reconsidering certain creative plans, friendships, or aspirations before fully committing to the next step. June closes with Jupiter leaving Cancer and entering Leo, beginning a year focused on work, wellness, routines, and creating greater stability in daily life. After a year emphasizing creativity, pleasure, and emotional openness, The next chapter asks how you can build practical structures and support the life you truly want. What kind of emotional foundation will best support the future you are trying to create? Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I'd love to hear how this astrology is showing up in your life, so feel free to leave a comment below and let me know what resonated with you most this month. I also want to invite you to join us for the second annual Awakening Conference, a live online weekend of masterclasses hosted by the facilitators of Awakening Airwaves and Reiki Radio Podcast. You can join us live via Zoom September 18th through 20th, and with the All Access Pass, you'll also receive the recordings afterward, along with access to last year's conference recordings as a bonus. My own masterclass will focus on Uranus's transit through the sign of Gemini. We'll explore how this radical and fast-moving transit is likely to unfold through all 12 houses, and where you may experience disruption, awakening, innovation, and major change in your life over the coming years. If you have access to your natal chart, please bring it with you to the presentation. The early bird registration price is currently only $44 and includes special offers from the presenters, including $33 off any regular priced natal consultation with me. So if you've been considering working with me through a natal astrology consultation, this is honestly a great value. I'll put the registration link in the description box below. And if you're interested in a personal astrology reading, my books are currently open for one-on-one consultations. That link is in the description box below as well. Thank you again for being here. Until next time, take good care, and may you trust the divine timing unfolding in your life.